Hello guys, welcome to another video for the preparation of your descriptive examination. Now from today's students, we are starting with another topic, that is your Pressy writing. Precis is a spelling, but the pronunciation is Pressy. So it also constitutes an important part of English language. You should be well versed with how to write a Pressy in your English language. Okay, so it's a little different from the essay. However, again, it's a part of descriptive examination. So in today's video, basically, I'm going to tell you what is Pressy writing, how you can write a good Pressy, and in what way you have to write a Pressy in your examination, what kind of question comes up in the examination related to this particular topic. So basically, this is an introduction video which will give you a brief idea about Pressy writing. And at the end, there is one sample of Pressy, how you will get an examination question about Pressy writing so that you get a clear hint. And in the coming videos, we will be solving the sample Pressy writing so that you get a clear idea as to how like which way you can write a Pressy. So now let's start the particular topic. So let's start now. First of all, it's very important, students, to note that what is Pressy writing. Basically, what is it? Until or unless you get an idea of what is the concept, you won't be able to write a Pressy. Basically, you should know exactly what it is. So this slide contains what is Pressy writing. A Pressy is a summary. Pressy writing is an exercise in compression. A Pressy is the gist of the passage. Now this is to be underlined, gist of a passage expressed in as few words as possible. A Pressy should give all essential points so that anyone reading it will be able to understand the idea expressed in the original passage. Now I'll tell you in my own words. Basically, Pressy writing is a summary. For example, there is a story written in your English literature books, and there is a long story of approximately 2 to 3 pages. And then when a teacher calls you in her the classroom and asks you to summarize the story, you cannot tell the story word to word because you have a limited time. You cannot read the story point to point with each and every sentence, word, direct speech, etc. Rather, teacher told you to summarize the story in 5 minutes. Now, what does that mean, students? This means that you have to provide a short and brief summary of the story, and in that summary you cover up all the important aspect of the story and without going it in long explanation. And that is the case of with Pressy writing. A passage is given to you in the examination, and the examiner asks you to write the summary of that passage. So minded students, the summary of the passage will be shorter than the passage. First important point to note down. Okay, and summary should be such that it covers all the points, it covers the gist of the passage, so that anyone who is reading the summary should get a clear idea about the passage. Okay, now note that Pressy writing is different from paraphrasing. In paraphrase, you should give all the details, you should not leave any details. A paraphrase will be at least as long as, sometimes longer than original. But Pressy, on the other hand, must always be shorter, as I just told you, than the original passage, and it should express only the main theme, that too as briefly as possible. Okay, so see students, paraphrasing and Pressy writing is sometimes misunderstood. What happens? A passage is given to you, and when you are asked to write your passage in your own words, you paraphrase it. You use synonyms and paraphrase it. But paraphrasing and Pressy are two different things, because paraphrasing is when you start explaining in your own words and paraphrases a passage, it becomes longer. However, the main point to note that is the Pressy writing is short and sweet, and you have to keep it as brief as possible, and you have to discuss only the main idea of the passage, not in detail. How long should a Pressy be? Now, this is also important to learn before you get into the writing part of Pressy writing, that how long a Pressy should be. What should be the length of a Pressy? There are no rigid rules regarding the length of the Pressy. But as a general rule, it should not contain more than 1/3 of total number of the words in the original passage. If the number of words in the passage are 500 or 250 or 200, then your Pressy should be half of it, or even 1/3 of it, not even half to half at least. Okay, so this is important. If the Pressy is about, sorry, the original passage is about 150 words, then you have to write the summary into 50 to 70 words only. That's it. However, there is no specific rule that you have to keep the Pressy this particular length, but it totally depends upon how you cover the ideas, but you have to maintain it small and brief. Lengthy Pressy turns out into be a paragraph. Lengthy Pressy should come into the category of paraphrasing. That should not be. Pressy and paragraphs and paraphrasing are all different things. Okay. Now, use of Pressy writing. Why Pressy writing is emphasized? Why it's an important part of grammar? Why we learned Pressy writing and why we are learning Pressy writing? Most of people read carelessly and fail to fully understand or comprehend the meaning of the passage. Pressy writing forces them to pay attention to what they read, because no one can write a summary of the passage unless they read it carefully. So summarizing teaches one to read with concentration. Why Pressy writing is encouraged? Because a lot of people have a habit in reading that they read carelessly. They don't understand the topic. But when you are to write a summary of the thing, you will read it very focusfully. If I ask you to write a Pressy or a summary of a story, and I'll give you 5 minutes, then in those 5 minutes, you will be reading the story very minutely. All right. So that is the point. The use of Pressy writing is that you have to read the passage. You increase your ability of reading. You'll read the passage with full zeal, filled with full interest. Okay. Next is Pressy writing also improves your overall writing skills. That's also important. It teaches you how to express your thoughts clearly, concisely, and effectively. That's most important, student. Pressy writing also improves your writing skills. That is also improved by essay writing and this as well. But it teaches you how to express your ideas clearly and in a concise manner. Concise means in a brief manner. Okay. You learn to choose your words carefully and construct your sentences in a logical and concise manner. You learn to choose your words, okay? Because there's a lengthy paragraph, approximately 20 to 50 lines. Now you have to construct some logical sentences in a concise manner, in a brief manner. All right. Now we shall be discussing the important features of a good Pressy. Basically, what all are the characteristics of a good Pressy? Okay, because if you don't know the features of good Pressy, you will not be able to understand whether what you have written is completely fine or not. Yes. If I tell you you have to make a beautiful drawing, then you will be asking me then, ma'am, what is the definition of beautiful drawing according to you? How do you consider our drawing to be beautiful? Then I'll tell you that your drawing should be with vibrant color. Your drawing should be as neat as possible. Then you will have a clear idea. You will have some, parameters on which you will be drawing. All right. So the same thing is over here. There are various components to make a good Pressy. For candidates who have just started their preparation for upcoming government examination, knowing the features of good Pressy is extremely important. Now, here we have discussed our features of good Pressy. The first feature of a good Pressy is the length of the Pressy. That means do not write a lengthy Pressy. In most cases, the number of words must be almost 1/3 of the word count of passage or comprehension. Second, it should be convenient to read. Means you have to make sure in your Pressy that you do not include a lot of complex vocabulary. Your Pressy should be simple and easy to understand. Third is cover all the essential points. Means while reading the passage, make a note of important points and ensure that no point is skipped. Okay, writing in short does not mean that you just skip 1 or 2 lines to shorten up your ideas. It should not be the case. Okay, must be coherent. The important terms with respect to the passage must be included in the Pressy as well, means the coherency should be maintained. Use an appropriate title. The Pressy need to have a title. This is an important point, students, to note here. A lot of students, they skip this point, that there should be a title of Pressy, because without title, your Pressy is not complete. So after reading the whole passage, first of all, your idea is to choose a title. If you're unable to choose a title, then you can keep this task for the end. Just start writing and then go for the apt title. Okay, your Pressy needs to have a title, so the candidates must ensure that the title is in cynic with the comprehension. Now, title does not mean that you can just simply think about and you just wrote it. Your title also fetches you good marks. So mind it, the title should go according to the comprehension. If in the comprehension that there's a talk about the bad effects of junk food, your title should be the similar to the junk food. Okay. Details in Pressy must match the details in the passage. Now, no other information apart from one given in the passage must be included in the Pressy, and all the information, important information mentioned in the passage must clearly be included. Now, you should include all the information, details of the passage in your Pressy as well. Now, there are certain rules of writing a Pressy. There are some do's and don'ts, that you don't have to do this and you have to do this. Then only you'll be understanding, right? The motive of writing a Pressy is to make the reader understand the main essence of paragraph in a shorter format. You know, your main motive of writing a Pressy is that the reader, whosoever is reading the passage, should get the main idea of the paragraph in a short format. So for the Pressy writing, there are certain do's and don'ts which will guide you into writing a better Pressy. Okay, so do's means the positive points that you have to include in your Pressy writing. Okay, so let's start with it. Start your Pressy with the main idea so that the reader can quickly understand the essence of Pressy. Your beginning part, your beginning sentence should convey most of your paragraph. All right, you should start your Pressy in such a manner that the reader gets an idea very quickly that what is it all about. Okay, now he or she will know beforehand as to what should they expect in the written Pressy. Now, after reading your lines should be so attracting, so much linked with the passage, so much linked to the title, of course, so much linked to the title, that the moment the reader reads it, he should expect what has been written further. Okay. Next is, while writing a Pressy, make a suitable environment where all the points can be described and discussed equally. Okay, while you're writing a Pressy, you should make a suitable environment that where you can like describe and discuss every point in an equal base. Okay, it's not like that. For example, you immediately started writing and you covered your precise of 100 words, but still a lot of content of paragraph is left. Now, what will you do? You'll be like, I have to write short and brief. I have to write in 100 words, but still a lot of content is remaining. So better is that before starting a Pressy, divide your sentences in your mind or on a rough sheet equally. That 2 lines I will discuss about this topic. The other 2 lines I'll discuss about these topics. So this is important. As the main idea or essence is established, you can follow it with some methods, facts, or point. Okay. As a Pressy is concise, compress it and make sure that the length is available for you to retain the important data and keyword and the concept. Because it's a very concise thing, as I told you. So don't just keep on started writing your ideas immediately. Try to compress the Pressy, and then whatever length is left, try to include some important points, some keywords, certain concepts, which will fetch you more marks. Some more positive things that you need to remember about Pressy writing is removing the irrelevant data or sentence is as important as writing the relevant points. Means, for example, in the paragraph, certain information seems to be extra. So there is no point of including that in your Pressy, because you know that is an extra point and that is understood. So in order to keep the Pressy short and sweet, you can exclude certain points which you think you have already covered in short and it need not more explanation. Thus, identify the superfluous data in facts. Yes, you have to focus on major things. Okay. Now, many students, they have this issue. They say that, ma'am, if the paragraph is of 20 lines and I have to consolidate it into 5 to 7 or 8 lines, how is it possible? And I don't have to leave any important information. So students, important information you don't have to leave. You can leave any unimportant information. There is a story, but a story does not contain everything important. There are certain lines in the stories which are not very important. For example, I'm taking a basic example. There was a girl living in a village. She was very poor. She lived in a small hut with thatched roof and a wooden door, etc. So you can talk about the girl, about where she lives, about the hut, but you need not to include extra details about the hut in your Pressy. You can simply write the poor condition of she lived in a poor conditioned hut. You need not to write thatched roof. You need not to write a broken wooden door, etc. So that's what my point is, that you have to include the superfluous information. If you are mentioning anything related to history or any historical data, then make sure that is written in past tense only. Yes, it's important. Tense is important. Also remember to put the purpose as to why you're writing the Pressy writing piece. This will help the reader understand what you wrote in the Pressy. Now, don'ts. The first thing, negative points. Now, these are the negative points. A Pressy writing is a formal way of writing a shorter form of the given paragraph. So even though you have to read and understood the Pressy well, do not form your own opinions. Yes, if you come up with your opinions, that is not worth, because there's no point, there's no space of your opinions, students. You just have to summarize the paragraph and that's it. Don't give your opinions, because that will lead Pressy to become an essay. You don't have to do it. Next important thing is, you cannot insert your own remarks and criticism in the Pressy. Again, the similar thing. Don't give your own opinions, own remarks, own criticism, etc. Always take the fact and data that is given in the paragraph only. Okay, the fact and data that you have to take should be picked from the paragraph only. You can change the line, sentence, transform it, but it should be the part of paragraph. Also, during a Pressy writing, you cannot insert a question. If for any reason you need to insert, make it in the form of a statement. No need to do the question writing, that what is the scenario. No, not like that. Okay, for a Pressy writing, avoid using contractions and abbreviations that you know already. Write full form of any given words only. Avoid being jerky. This shows that you have not understood the passage properly and started writing a Pressy. Now, how can a good Pressy be? That is something which is very understood. So I'll go in a quick manner. It should be precise and clear. A Pressy writing is not just lifting the words from original paragraph. Definitely, you should frame your own sentences. It should be written in precise manner in your own words. So in your own words is important. It should be a summary of the miniature version of original paragraph. The Pressy writing must be logically connected and should have a good flow of words. It should be coherent, and for this it can use a linking words such as because, therefore, etc. A Pressy should have an appropriate title and order ideas need to be original. Okay, that's it. Now, yes, before beginning with the sample Pressy writing in today's video, we shall be knowing that how do these things occur in examination. A paragraph on any topic may be presented in the question paper, and candidates must know that they do not need any extra and general information to write the Pressy. So even if the topic of comprehension is not well known by the candidate, he or she must not panic but must pay attention while reading the passage. Now, this case of Pressy writing is different. The case of Pressy writing is entirely different from an essay. From regarding writing an essay, you have to be well familiar with the topic. So if any topic comes up to you which is not a familiar topic, you get panicked and you are like, what to write? So panicking is very natural at that point of time. But in Pressy writing, if you get any topic, don't panic, because you simply have to summarize it. You need not to be familiar with the topic. It can be any comprehension, right? So you must not panic. Instead, you should pay full focus on the comprehension of the passage. converting what has been written in the passage into your own words and ensuring the reader understand what the paragraph says is the only job of an applicant while writing a Pressy. Now, your only task is to convert what is written in the passage in your own word by making it shorter than the original passage, so that, and also ensuring that whatever information you are writing, the reader should understand that what the paragraph is all about. Okay, this is your only job. Now, students, for your convenience, apart from explanation in today's video, I have compiled a comprehension passage and a Pressy of this passage so that you get a clear idea that whatever rules we just understood, we have implemented those rules in this particular Pressy writing. Other passages and everything samples of previous year we shall be discussing in the coming videos. Let's read the passage carefully now. Okay, everybody knows what a good man means. So students, also keep underlining the highlighted point so that will lead you to a good title. You'll be able to write a good title. Everybody knows what a good man means and how he should be. Means this passage is somewhere about what? This passage is somewhere about the qualities of a good man. What is the meaning of good man? Our definition of a good man is the one who does not smoke or drink or avoids the usage of bad language. A good man is ideally expected to converse in front of men as he would in front of women. He is also expected to attend the church regularly and have correct opinions on all subjects. He has a wholesome horror of wrongdoing and realizes that it is our painful duty to reprimand sin. He is not anticipated to have wrong thinkings and has the authority to protect the young. His duties are not just restricted to professional front, but also needs to spend quality time doing good deeds. He must be patriotic and a keen believer of military training. He should promote industry, must be sober, have virtue among wage earners and their children. He must be a role model for all, and it is expected that he leads a way which the younger generation would willingly follow. Above all, of course, his morals in the narrow sense must be admirable. Now, this is your passage which can come up in your examination. First of all, our first task is to look for the title of the Pressy. Title of the Pressy is generally understood from the first two lines only. Okay, students, always pick the title of the Pressy on behalf of introductory lines. Everybody knows what a good man is. That means this passage is all about a good man's characteristics. Okay, so the title of the passage should be attributes of a good man, or you can write a passage like qualities of a good man. Okay, that means the same, qualities of a good man. Okay, or you can write the passage how a good man should be, or definition of a good man. So many titles can come up. Now see, number of lines 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. 10 lines are there approximately. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 6, like more than half, a bit more than half. Got it? Now let's read out how we have converted it. The characteristics of the good man are known, and he is expected to be religiously profound, must not smoke, drink, or use bad language. His behavior must be the same for all genders. Now see, you cannot pick exact words because that you have to go in your own word. Men and women, they are saying. So this line in front of men and women, this complete line which consists of 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 words is now limited to 2 words, all genders. This is the way you write precise. Okay, this is the way you write a Pressy, sorry. He is expected to be role model for the young ones. He must know his duties and avoid taking path of sin. He must be good not only in professional space, but also help people in need. Okay, he should promote industry. He's to be the role models with the younger generation. Okay, He must be someone who can be admired and is praiseworthy. He can be someone who is now see, in the narrow sense, must be admirable. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words. But here, person who can be admired and praiseworthy. This is how you turn things. Meaning is also clear. Pressy has become short and sweet. So this is how you have to write Pressy writing. In our coming videos, I'll be taking up more samples and you will become more familiar and professional in writing a Pressy.